The gleaming glass doors of the luxury car dealership slid open, and a tall, elderly man stepped inside. His face carried the wisdom of years, his posture straight despite his age. He wore a simple gray hoodie and faded jeans, not the attire most people expected in a place where vehicles cost more than some houses. His name was Walter Harris, a retired businessman, investor, and philanthropist. But to the staff inside that dealership, he was just an old man who didn't belong. Near the entrance, a saleswoman in a sharp navy blue suit noticed him immediately. Lisa Carter, the dealership's top salesperson, was known for two things: her ability to close deals and her complete lack of patience for anyone she deemed unworthy of her time. Walter walked toward a sleek, brand-new luxury car, admiring its design. Before he could even run his fingers along the polished surface, Lisa stormed over, heels clicking against the glossy showroom floor. "Excuse me, sir," she said sharply, crossing her arms. "I think you might be lost. The cars outside are more in your price range." Walter turned to her, his expression calm. "I was actually interested in this model. It's a beautiful piece of engineering." Lisa let out a short, condescending laugh. "I'm sure it is, but these cars aren't just for window shopping. Maybe you'd be more comfortable at a used car lot down the street?" A few customers glanced over. The security guards near the door were now watching. Walter, unfazed, reached into his pocket and pulled out a checkbook. "I'd like to speak to a manager," he said simply. Lisa scoffed. "A manager? Sir, with all due respect, our managers don't waste time with casual visitors." She leaned in slightly, lowering her voice. "We have serious buyers here. I'd appreciate it if you didn't disturb them." Walter met her gaze, his expression unreadable. Then, without another word, he turned and walked toward the exit. Before we continue, take a second to subscribe to the channel. This story is about to take an incredible turn, you won't want to miss it. 2 days later, the dealership was buzzing with excitement. The regional director had scheduled a visit, and rumors were flying that a VIP client was about to make the biggest purchase the dealership had seen in years. Employees were on high alert, making sure everything was spotless, their customer service at its absolute best. Lisa, of course, was thrilled. This was the kind of opportunity that could put her in line for a promotion. She stood at the showroom entrance, waiting to greet the important guest. Then, the glass doors slid open again. Walter Harris stepped inside. But this time, he wasn't alone. Behind him was a team of lawyers, financial advisors, and a well-known luxury car executive. The dealership's general manager rushed forward, smiling. "Mr. Harris. It's an honor to have you here." Lisa's face went pale. Walter smiled politely. "Thank you. I had an interesting experience here the other day, and I wanted to see how the dealership truly treats its customers." The general manager nodded eagerly. Of course. Please, allow me to personally assist you." Walter turned to Lisa. "Actually, I'd like her to assist me." Lisa's hands trembled slightly. But she forced a smile, trying to recover. "Of course, Mr. Harris. I'd be happy to." Walter held up a hand. "Before we begin, I want to clarify something. The other day, you assumed I wasn't worth your time. You judged me not by who I am, but by what I was wearing. Am I correct?" Lisa's throat tightened. Customers and employees had now gathered, watching the exchange unfold. The general manager shifted uncomfortably. I didn't mean," Lisa stammered. Walter nodded. "I believe in second chances. So, I'll give you an opportunity to redeem yourself." He paused for effect. Lisa's heart pounded in her chest. The weight of her actions crushed her as reality settled in. She had made a terrible mistake. Just days ago, she had mocked this man, dismissed him, and treated him as if he were insignificant. But now, standing before her was someone with more wealth and influence than she could have ever imagined. More than that, he was a man of dignity, class, and patience, something she had failed to show. The showroom was eerily silent. Customers and employees alike waited for what would happen next. A few of Lisa's colleagues whispered among themselves, some shaking their heads in disapproval. Others glanced at her with a mix of pity and amusement. She felt small. She swallowed hard, trying to regain her composure. "Mr. Harris. I sincerely apologize for my behavior the other day. I wasn't thinking." Walter tilted his head slightly. "Weren't thinking," he repeated. "Or were you thinking the wrong way?" Lisa had no response. Walter sighed, glancing around at the stunned faces in the dealership. "You see, Miss Carter, people often assume power comes from appearances. The way someone looks, the way they dress, the car they drive. But real power, real wealth, is measured by how you treat others. That is something money can't buy." Lisa felt her hands tremble. The truth of his words stung. One of her co-workers, a younger salesperson who had always looked up to her, took a small step back, as if suddenly realizing that Lisa wasn't the kind of role model she had believed. The humiliation deepened. Walter then glanced toward the general manager, who had remained silent throughout the exchange. "Tell me," Walter said, "is this how your dealership trains employees to treat potential clients?" The manager's face turned pale. "And no, sir. Absolutely not. We value all customers." Walter raised an eyebrow. "Do you?" He turned his gaze back to Lisa. "Because from what I experienced, I wasn't valued at all." Lisa's breath caught in her throat. Walter let the silence linger before finally breaking it. "Luckily, I'm not here to hold grudges. I'm here to make a point." And then, with a calm but firm voice, he made an announcement that would shake the entire dealership. "I would like to buy 5 of your most expensive vehicles." A gasp rippled through the room. Lisa's eyes widened, her breath shallow. "F5? Walter smiled. "Yes. But not for me. I'll be donating them to a charity organization that provides transportation for underprivileged families. And I'd like the sale to be made in your colleague's name." He turned to another salesperson who had treated him kindly when he first walked in. "She will receive the full commission." Lisa's stomach dropped. That commission would have been life-changing. Walter looked at the general manager. "I assume that won't be a problem?" The manager, eager to please such an important client, nodded quickly. "Not at all, Mr. Harris. It's an excellent decision." Walter then turned back to Lisa, his expression serious. "I don't hold grudges, Miss Carter. But I do believe in teaching lessons. The way you treat people matters. And today, you've learned that the hard way." Lisa felt like the entire world was closing in on her. She had humiliated the wrong man, and now, in front of everyone, she was the one left humiliated. As Walter finalized the purchase, the atmosphere in the dealership shifted. People whispered, some shaking their heads at Lisa, others nodding in admiration at Walter's class and generosity. As he walked out, one of the security guards near the entrance, who had been silently watching everything, offered a subtle nod of respect. Walter returned it. Because real power isn't about wealth, it's about integrity. This story serves as a powerful reminder: never judge someone by their appearance.